Hello and a very warm welcome to yet another scintillating edition of the program CAC Weekly, a weekly program that keeps you abreast on the activities and the achievements of the Corporate Affairs Commission. My name is Maria Adu Zakari. Coming up, CAC targets artificial intelligence to improve future operations. Open Governance Advocate says CAC's BOR is among the best in the world. Plus, a searchlight on company administration as enshrined in CAMA 2020. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's begin with the efforts being made to further improve the CAC. Speed, cost, accuracy, and timeliness have been identified as the important determinant criteria for the evaluation of a global registry in the future. The Registrar General and CEO of the Corporate Affairs Commission, Hussaini Ishaq Magaji San, stated this while declaring open the 2023 Management Retreat of the organization in Kefi, Nasarawa State. Hussaini Magaji said the theme, the role of the Corporate Affairs Commission in promoting investment and economic development, underscores the role the Commission plays in the birth and sustainability of businesses. Represented by Justin Nidia, Director of Compliance, the Registrar General stressed that future operations of the registry are expected to be cloud and artificial based.
The learning point in all of this is that change is constant and inevitable. That is why the Commission's vision is also dynamic, which is to be a world-class registry. The world we also recognize is not static, but it changes over time. The world-class registry of yesterday is not the world-class registry of today, and certainly it will not be the world-class registry of tomorrow. The global reality is that this generation's registries are tomorrow's generation's needs. It is therefore imperative as individuals and as organizations to be adaptable to change, particularly change in technology, if we are to be relevant.
He therefore charged the CAC staff to strive hard to invent and reinvent themselves as individuals and as an organization to avoid becoming obsolete. The CAC boss, who chronicled the CAC's movement from manual to semi-automated to fully automated and now offers online operations, therefore urged participants to offer frank but courteous contributions to discussions that will build the future registry of their dreams. The event witnessed paper presentations and panel discussions on the Beneficial Ownership Register presented by Favor Ime of Open Ownership, Data Protection and Security by Ayodeji Rex Abitogun, and Key Performance Indicators KPI by Ayo Murtala, amongst others.
And then the interest that can be held in a company can be held directly or indirectly. If you go back to the first scenario of the Nigerian company, the Ghanaian person and the Chinese person. The Chinese person is the beneficial owner of the Nigerian company, but his beneficial ownership interest is indirect. So that's an example of indirect relationships existing between natural persons and companies. But at the end of the day, we're trying to get to who is at the end of the ownership chain.
If you're going to do business in Nigeria, it is important that you comply with the laws of Nigeria, isn't it? If you're going to do business in Europe, it is important that you comply with the laws of Europe, isn't it? So it is very important that we, as the custodian of companies, individuals that are doing business in Nigeria, need to understand the importance of managing data, protecting it, securing it, and also we know our individual roles as we move on. Data protection and security is a building block of any organization seeking to grow in the new economy. And earlier on we talked about sustainability. Sustainability means that in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, we should still have CAC.
Along the line, the private sector were able to begin to copy what is done in the military, which is about having strategy, designing strategy, building performance system, because they are also fighting their own war. They are competing about who controls the territory. They are competing for market share. So there is a competition, which is another word for there is a war, right? But we call it competition, am I right? Now the question is, who is CAC fighting with? Self-survival. The public sector is not fighting with anybody. So whether I like it or not, I want to register a business, I'll come to CAC. Whether you serve me right or not, I will still come back. Whether you treat us right or not, do we have a choice? So when we know people don't have a choice, it takes a lot more effort to do the right thing.
Dr. Chidinma Ojukwu, a public health professional with focus on health management, health system strengthening, and health service delivery, was on hand to give a health talk at the retreat.
Feel, yeah. Feel it well. So you're feeling. So now, I must warn that you have to use the palm part of your hand. Yes, the palm part of your fingers. Yes, because there is no bone there that would confuse you. So you're using this part. Yes, to just feel. Yes. So now, after that, you've not noticed anything. Thank God. You now divide your breast imaginary into 4 quadrants. Yes, into 4. And you move in a clockwise motion. So the first quadrant, you feel it. Now, this time around, you're going deeper and you're feeling if there's anything inside. The first quarter. Yes. I'm moving a clockwise motion. So after you do that, go to the next one and you feel it again. No, you're just doing like this. See, like this. Feel it. Yes. So now you're feeling the muscle, you're feeling everything. Move to the next quarter. Yes. Then move to the last quarter. Now you've touched all the 4 quadrants. Then you now come to the center at the nipple and then feel that last part.
CAC Weekly reports that fitness exercise was also conducted during the second day of the CAC 2023 Management Retreat at Kefi, Nasarawa State. From trying to ensure a healthy workforce, we move on to more accolades for the CAC. Nigeria's Beneficial Ownership Register, BOR, has been described as the most open and free in the world. Favor Ime of Open Ownership stated this while presenting a paper on beneficial ownership at the 2023 Management Retreat of the Corporate Affairs Commission held in Kefi, Nasarawa State. Ime maintained that while countries like Ghana and Gambia also have the BOR, studies have shown that Nigeria's is unique as it's free and open to the public.
Numbers from the mining cadastre, directly. They made this presentation on the benefits of using CAC data in Dakar in front of, I think, about 86 countries. And that was a very proud moment for me because, it was Nigeria. Yes, please, a round of applause. Yes. This is a very profound case. 2 days ago, we had an event with the AFD, with the African Development Bank, and the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit was asked to make a presentation. And they mentioned this case. And they spoke about how, because they had access to, again, legal and BO information from the CAC, they were able to identify so many properties that were bought by companies that were, on the face of it, not owned by Madam Diezani, but ultimately actually owned and controlled by her. And they have actually retrieved up to $150 million US. There is a federal high court case.
The BOR, amongst others, helps to check illicit activities such as money laundering, terrorism financing, fight corruption, as well as ensure transparency in business. The CAMA 2020 provided a framework for the implementation of the BOR following Nigeria's commitment to the 2016 London Anti-Corruption Summit. Let's now talk more about some provisions of CAMA 2020. The Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, CAMA, is embedded with so many new concepts, including insolvency practice known as administration, which involves the appointment of an administrator as priority option against the practice of appointing a manager or a receiver. For more insight on company administration, let's join Justin Nidia Biral, Director of Compliance, in our interview segment.
Mr. Nidia Justin Biral, Director of Compliance, many thanks for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Today we're part of the business risk management that we talked some time ago. Today we're going to be looking at company administration. It's very important. A lot of us have companies, but we don't even know how to run them. Is that the same thing?
Yes, like it's obvious that when the new CAMA came into being,
yes,
it provided for what is called a business rescue mechanism, among which we have three. There is what is called the company's voluntary arrangement, there is the company administration, and there is what is called netting.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take them one after the other.
Yes.
The first one is voluntary arrangement.
Yes, the first one is company voluntary arrangement. I know we have talked about it in the past, but basically that is what is considered as directors, is initiated by either the company or the directors.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the second one?
The second one which we want to consider today is what is called company administration.
Okay.
Yes. And company administration basically is a process in which what is considered as an insolvency practitioner is appointed with the objective of restructuring a company that has gone into financial distress with a view of bringing it back to profitability.
Okay.
That is just the basic idea behind company administration.
Okay, what about netting?
Well, netting usually applies to parties that are considered or entities that are considered to be parties to a financial contract, which is defined within the Act. That is usually an area that we also have other regulators, such as the Central Bank, the Security and Exchange Commission.
Okay.
Yeah, we have other industry regulators.
Okay. All right. I also understand that under company administration, you have two types. You have the voluntary and compulsory.
Yes, those are the basic type. The compulsory is considered as the one that is done through the court.
Okay.
While the voluntary is the one that is initiated and completed without formally going to the court.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Which one is most common?
For now, we'll consider the one initiated by either the directors or the members as the common.
Okay. So in a nutshell, company administration is not like the day-to-day running of a company. That's what it means?
No. It is not in the sense that it is company management. We consider that one as management. But for administration, company administration, technically, it means the company as a going concern runs into what is called financial distress.
Okay.
And to come out of that financial interest, you need somebody that is specialized in company restructuring, and that person is called an insolvency practitioner.
Yes.
He is the one that is invited to look at the situation in the company and now make up his mind as to whether it will be right to put the company under administration or to consider other options. Other options are like you could liquidate the company if the circumstances indicate that it is better to liquidate the company. Then you could also choose to go into company voluntary arrangement. So depending on the circumstances in the company,
Okay.
he will.
I'm just looking at the economic situation right now and the kind of jobs that will be available to this liquidator, expert. So there's a lot for them to do this time around because a lot of companies are going into distress.
Yes,
True or false?
in an ideal situation,
Yeah.
there is supposed to be job for the insolvency practitioner.
Yeah.
But I think the main challenge has been that even those companies that are struggling would actually try to run away from from inviting an insolvency practitioner to try to solve the problem. Probably because of the negative publicity that it will,
and the stigmatization,
the stigmatization it
that
will
comes with it.
Yes. So some will choose to keep quiet
And continue.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's look at the process or the requirement for a company administration.
Well, first of all, the beginning point will be that for the process to be involved, there should be what is considered financial distress.
Okay.
And financial distress is looked at as a cash flow problem. So what that means is that if, for instance, a company's total assets is less than total liabilities, that is considered as a situation of bankruptcy.
Okay.
In which case the company administration may not be appropriate for it. But the company administration is ideal for a situation in which a company has what is called liquidity problem. And by liquidity problem, you are only looking at the aspect of the balance sheet that has to do with current assets and current liabilities. So usually what is done is that the insolvency practitioner will look at the cash flow of the company. If he thinks that there is an advantage to be taken that will bring the company out of the liquidity problem, then he will recommend one of either options.
Okay.
Usually, what normally happens is that when the insolvency practitioner is appointed as administrator, he will be looking at what is considered as packaged sale.
Okay.
And by packaged sale, we mean that he will be looking at another entity that will be willing and able to buy the company as a going concern and then solve the liquidity problem and continue with its operations.
Okay.
In which case you have now saved the dislocations that could have arisen as a result of the company being wound up, because you will now save jobs, you will now save the society, those that are doing business with the company, and other stakeholders of the company. So that's,
and prevent stigmatization, which is the bigger one.
Which is the bigger one, which our people try to run away from.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's go to the advantages. Before people, I'm sure a lot of people don't want to hear the word liquidation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this provides some kind of advantages. What are the advantages it provides?
The advantages, like we begin to observe from the definition, is that unlike the liquidation, which entails that the company is, in a queer language, killed completely, this one will afford an opportunity for an ailing company to bounce back to life.
Okay.
And what that means is that it will save the integrity of the directors.
Okay.
In the sense that a business has not failed in their hands. It will save jobs for the employees of the company. It will also save jobs for the customers that deal with the company. And for the society and for the government also, you will save revenue because if the company goes in, continue in operation, there will be tax to the government. Then there will also be tax by employees. So the government benefits at two levels: the tax that are paid by employees and the tax that are paid by the company.
Okay.
Then for the society, the companies normally come in to fulfill a need in the society.
Okay.
So that one is also saved for the society at large.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So many advantages.
So many advantages.
Okay. So I'll still ask you, what is the response like? Since it's a new innovation from 2020, since KAMA 2020 till date, what's the response like?
Well, the response has rather been poor, to be honest to you.
Why?
Because I think most of the challenges, it has to do with the issue of stigmatization.
Okay.
Because those that run such companies would consider that it's a failure on their part. It's an admittance of failure for them to invite an insolvency practitioner into their company to do company administration.
Okay.
Yes.
So you said so far only 2 people have registered?
Yes, from inception, the only one that has come officially to the commission are only 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Only 2?
Only 2.
And I'm sure they must be bold enough to do that.
They must be bold enough to do that.
They gathered all the confidence they could.
They gathered all the confidence they had to do that. And I think they also had the benefit of professionals advising them on what is appropriate in their circumstances.
So where are they now? Are they going to be wind up completely, or they are going to bounce back?
No, they are still in the process of administration.
Okay.
So hopefully in the near future, we are hoping that those companies will bounce back to life.
Are they ready to talk so that they can share their experiences with people?
Well, we will get back to them, those that are involved, to see whether they will be willing.
How easy is this process? Is it easy or is it cumbersome?
Well, it is relatively easy.
Okay.
In the sense that if you get the right professional, people would experience, the process is seamless.
That brings me to the question, how many good professionals do we have as far as company administration is concerned? Or the liquidator, the insolvency practitioners. How many experts do we have in that regard?
We have so many of them.
Okay,
actually.
well trained?
Yeah, we have an association.
Okay.
The Business Rescue and Insolvency Practitioners Association of Nigeria, popularly called BRIPA, which has registered so many insolvency practitioners.
Okay.
The Commission has also accredited quite a number of them.
Okay.
So if it is that aspect, we can confidently talk that we have quite a number of them in the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I remember 2 years ago when I asked you, you said they're just starting.
Yes.
And then you might not have enough. But I'm happy that 2 years down the line we have a number of them.
We have so many of them now.
Okay.
At the moment.
Okay.
Yes.
So there is no need for importing insolvency practitioners.
The law doesn't even allow us to import in that field.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. A very interesting one. I hope that the parties involved will share their stories someday and then people can learn.
We hope so too.
All right.
We hope so
Mr. Ndia Justin Barrow, thank you very much indeed for your time, sir.
Thank you for having me one more time.
Great insight there. Do you know that by the provision of Section 421, subsection 1 of KAMA 2020, the annual return of a company limited by shares or guarantee or unlimited shall be completed, signed and delivered to the Corporate Affairs Commission not later than 42 days after the annual general meeting for the year? So, have you updated your records with the CAC? Well done if you have. And if you are yet to do that, please hurry now to www.cac.gov.ng to file your return to avoid being struck off. The CAC remains committed to working hard to provide prompt and efficient service to customers in line with global best practice. And that does it for this week's edition of the program CAC Weekly. We hope you enjoyed watching. For comments and inquiries, please take advantage of our social media handles and helpline. On Instagram and Facebook, we're at Corporate Affairs Commission. On X, we're at CAC Nigeria 1. Our email is cservice@cac.gov.ng. And our website is www.cac.gov.ng. You can reach our call center at 070-8062-9000. Do join us next week for another interesting edition of the program, same time, same station. From me, Maria Ado Zakari, and the whole team here, it's bye for now.